This is Tyrese Halliburton, and you're listening to Setting the Pace.
Happy Tuesday, Pacer Nation. Welcome back to another episode here of your go-to Pacers podcast, Setting the Pace. I'm your host, Alex Golden, and I'm joined today by my lovely co-host. He's looking good today, got the slick back hair. He said he's tired, but it is Michael J. Facci. The J is for Jermaine O'Neal, first pick in the draft. Facci, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I could have done without that draft, though, man. Oh, that was a landslide sweep. People were coming for me like as if I didn't know I lost. They were just like, I don't know, Facci, this isn't a great team. I'm like, look, it's not news to me. It was not my best draft. I just needed Jermaine, and I was gonna go down with the ship.
I will say this: my favorite comment was, I feel like Alex picked all 5 of his players in a row.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look, people didn't understand, like, Reggie in the 5th round. It's like, no, there was rules to this, all right? Like, I wasn't eligible to pick Reggie after I picked Jermaine. Trust me, guys, I wasn't picking, Boyan over Reggie, all right? Like, yeah, there was rules to this, but nonetheless.
Can we get a moment of truth, though? Someone asked me, they said, are we sure Facci would have picked Bojan if you didn't pick Obi? They said, because you said Obi or Bojan, they felt like maybe you stole one of those from me because I was just killing you so much in the draft.
Absolutely not. In that moment, I was looking at you and I was trying to kind of sell you on Obi a little bit. I was like, yeah, I mean, hey, look, no one can say a bad thing about Obi or something of the sort like that, because it was like, I need to hit some of these picks. And,
I still think Obi's better than Bojan.
Yeah, but that could be a little bit of a recency thing. Like, people could turn on Obi 2 months from now. It could totally happen. Bojan, his stock can't drop at this point. It's already been preserved. So
who said it funny? Was it Oladipo that said Bojan funny?
Yeah, Bojan. Yeah, it was like something like that. That was him. So hey, it stuck all these years later, and there's a couple good names, but like we also said, a couple names that weren't drafted but deserved to be. But there's only 10 spots. There's been a lot of good fan favorites over the years.
Yeah, and if we would have done like favorites in terms of like great players instead of just like limiting it to one, we could have definitely had more on there. So that kind of is where it was like, why wasn't Rick Smith's pick? Like, was he in that like greats category or not? I feel like he has to because he was an all-star.
That's what I'm saying. It was like he started to tiptoe the line of like potentially too good, where we were talking about like fan favorites, where they didn't need to be really good players. Like if you actually look at it, you and I each had one all-star. That's what it was. Everyone else was a non-all-star. I know Rick Smith only made it once, but still all-star. He had achieved a certain level of play that kind of almost takes him outside of fan favorite and just puts him in a category of he's just flat out good.
Yeah, for sure. So today, Facci, we're going to be ranking 15 players for a conversation just to kind of like evaluate the roster a little bit, I feel like. And I told you, like, based on potential, like what they could do this season, like expectations, talent. So there's a lot of different ways you can go about this. So there's not a right way to rank this. I will say, just to give us 15 instead of 14, I feel like Quentin Jackson earned a chance to be ranked in this one. So with Tyrese out, we're going to go ahead and slide Quentin Jackson up to the 15-man roster. So the players that we're going to be talking about today are the ones that are on the regular roster, and then Quentin Jackson. So no other two-way guys. I know Ray J. Dennis is still on a two-way contract, but we don't know about Enrique Freeman or Talon Peter, who's going to be on there. So didn't want to go down that rabbit hole. But Facci, I'm excited to talk about these 15 players and see how we rank them. So let's just start from 15, work our way up to number 1. We'll go in intervals of 5, and then we'll take a break after that. So let's start with number 15.
Now, I don't think that we're going to have, this is definitely one we're going to have different options, but I don't think number 15 is going to be different. I got Tony Bradley at number 15, and I think that's probably rightfully so. And I think every time Tony Bradley's names come up in the past 2 weeks, it's been a no offense, but, and I think in this scenario, hey, come on, Tony Bradley, you know what it is right now. He's coming in at 15.
Yeah, this was hard because I'm still kicking myself for making that bet with you. That was probably worse than your draft, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably, because now you got a long way to go. I mean, I think it's like Tony Bradley needs to survive his spot on the roster to like January or something. It's like
10th, I think.
It's gonna be
$5, man.
I know, but I mean, hey, we'll see if he can make it through. I guess September is probably the first pivotal test. We'll see it when they have like training camp and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd imagine you got Tony Bradley number 15 as well, correct?
Actually, I don't. I'm just kidding. I do. Tony Bradley at 15 for me. good player, but like I just don't see the potential. I think he is who he is. I don't really see any expectations for him. I think he's a four-string center. Talent wise, like this is a guy that was clearly out of the league last year. The Pacers were able to snatch him up out of the G League just to give him a contract, and he ended up playing better than Thomas Bryant. So
Yeah, he did.
like I don't want to undersell
good
Tony
moments.
Bradley. I mean, hey, maybe there for a few stretches in the playoffs and the finals, he played better than a former Pacer that's still trying to find greener grass somewhere else. But he's really into grass recently, Foch.
He really is. I mean, tweets about grass, sentimental comments about grass, whatever it is. Grass is
We're
just
gonna call him Grass Guy from now on. I'm not even
yeah.
gonna say
I
his
mean,
name.
hey, hopefully he's got the green thumb. I don't know, as they say for people who love to plant.
He ain't got no greener thumb than Chris Denary. We'll just put it out there right now.
Yeah,
Chris Denary, that's a guy that loves his planting and landscaping. I mean, have him show you some pictures. My gosh.
Next time we're gonna get him talking. Next time Chris comes on, I want to hear about what he's planting these days. But number 14 on my list, maybe we have it different. Maybe we don't. I don't know. This is where I'm going, Cam Jones. And some people could say, yeah, some people could be like, what are you talking about? That's our recent draft pick. I don't know exactly what his role is going to be this year. So Cam Jones, pick 38, first couple games of Summer League, last couple games of Summer League definitely impressed me, showed some good stuff. Hey, there could be a scenario in this where I am totally wrong, and maybe there's some injuries or playing time that opens up, and Cam Jones is able to play far more than expected. I remember when Nemhard was a guy that we didn't know what to expect, and all of a sudden he played a lot his rookie year. So maybe I'm wrong, but who do you got at 14?
Yeah, I would say for Cam Jones, my potential and expectations put him higher on this list for me.
That's fine.
I'm staying with the center rotation, which is going to probably upset people, but this is where I got James Wiseman.
Wow. Okay.
I know it seems a little bit low, but this is a guy coming off an Achilles injury. He's had multiple leg injuries in his entire career. He's never really panned out. I mean, the potential of healthy is there, but like, let me see you healthy before we even start having that conversation. I like him. I think he can be really good if he does, get healthy and get an opportunity. But are we sure he's even going to play? Like that's the $1 million question. I know it's center by committee, but he is clearly, in my opinion, behind Jay Huff and Isaiah Jackson. I just
definitely
don't think Rick's gonna, play him over those two guys unless there's like you're playing the Rockets and they're playing two centers, like that kind of matchup. So I like him. I think he's got, potential, but potentially has potential. I know it sounds really weird to say.
Potentially having potential is gotta be the bare minimum of like you might one day be all right. Yeah,
I ain't got bars right now.
That's a new
really
one.
bad.
That is a new one.
That is bad. That is really bad. But you know what I'm trying to say. Like there is a chance for him to break out, is what I'm saying. And I just, without Tyrese, I kind of wonder how much his ceiling can be elevated to. So I went play it safe auto, kept James Wiseman at 14.
Okay. Well, I'm going Quentin Jackson next. Now, here's the thing.
I got Quentin at 13 too.
I like me some Quentin Jackson. I do. All it took me, I was smitten by that first Summer League game. I went, wow, you know what? This guy is better than a two-way player. Like this guy is a standard contract NBA player on a handful of teams. And I think that is still on the cards for the Indiana Pacers. So for right now, I have to have him lower because he is a two-way guy, and we know the limitations that come with that compared to being on a standard contract. So I couldn't have him higher than 13, but I do love me some Quentin Jackson.
I love Q-Jax. He might be one of my favorite players on this current roster.
A lot's changed from a year ago. You and I were not high on him. It didn't look like I remember even as a two-way, I was starting to be like a little shaky on it.
We were scarred by game one Summer League.
He had a lot of turnovers.
It was bad.
It was like, I could be lying now. I could be exaggerating. It felt like it was like 7 or 8 turnovers in the game. It was something really bad where I remember being like, I don't know about this guy. And a year later, I'm a believer.
We were all in on Tristan Newton. We were like, Tristan Newton was drafted 49th or 50th overall.
Championship pedigree. Hey.
Championship pedigree, coming out of Connecticut. Like, he's going to take over for Quentin. No, Quentin's really good. And like Quentin fits this team perfectly. Like I love his personality. And they desperately missed him. I mean, I know they still went 3-2, but like he was so good in that third quarter against the Cavs in game one. Like it was awesome to see. And I just feel like he's got so much potential to, find a spot. Like we've debated this before. I was just on Locked On Pacers yesterday on Tony's show Monday. And we talked about Quentin a lot, and it just seems like this could be a guy that gets converted to a standard contract. So if he does, maybe that does change your ranking of him, or we have him at now.
I bump him up a spot or two if he's on a standard, no doubt about it. Because
I don't know if I would, just because I don't know how much time he's actually going to get based on who they've invested more in, right? Because with the standard contract, it could become non-guaranteed. It doesn't mean that it's a guaranteed contract. So, but anyway, Quentin Jackson, great guy to play more at your 2 than the 1, I think. But he can play like emergency point guard if you need him to play the 1, that kind of thing. I think Ray J. Dennis is more of your natural 1, where Quentin's more of your natural like combo guard, can play a little 2, but can also play a little 1 at times. So, but I just love the way that he hustles, and I think that he's going to be a good fit. So we're both in alignment there on 15 and 13. Who do you have at 12?
Here's where I got James Wiseman.
Okay, so we just had him and Cam Jones flipped.
Yeah. Because I think for James Wiseman, look, he's coming off of an Achilles tear. Right now, I feel like if you look on paper, probably the 3rd string center. I'm in agreement with you on that. I think he's definitely at least behind Isaiah Jackson and Jay Huff, just like you mentioned before. But how incredible were those 5 minutes last year? There was something there. There was something in those 5 minutes that was enough for Pacer fans to say, I want to bring them back and I want to see more. The size is there. The idea of James Wiseman is there, and we got to see this through. So I think that for right now, I can't have him higher on my list. I hope that he has like the big opportunity to just showcase himself, because this is a pivotal year for James Wiseman, where if it doesn't work out, he's probably out of the league. If it does work out, you've saved your NBA career.
That might be partially why I had him lower, is because like this could be like end of career type of, make or break season. And I want to believe in him. I really do. But there's just something giving me a little bit of reservation of going all in. I feel like last year I might have been a little bit more enticed with him as a 3rd string center, but I just think Wiseman is he's one of those guys that if he wasn't the 2nd overall pick, nobody would care. But because he was such a high draft pick and he's so young, I think people are just like enamored by the potential there. So, like you said, if he can find a way to like outplay Jay Huff and get that backup spot, like, dang, that'd be great. I think that'd be awesome, because Jay Huff really earned it last year in Memphis, and like he was too good to be a 3rd string center. Like I think a lot of people were saying like Jay Huff might be the best 3rd string center in the league, and not saying that that's great if you're trying to replace a guy.
Exactly. Like, what does that really mean when you have potential to have potential, and you're the best 3rd string center in the league? Look, here's where we're at this point. We're trying to make it all work. But I think
James Wiseman's coming for that crown. Best 3rd string center in the league.
Is coming for it, but Jay Huff has been upgraded, and for that, I'm excited to see where could he rank amongst 2nd string centers in the league this year. We're gonna find out.
Well, let me just talk about Cam Jones for a quick second here, who I have at 12. I like Cam Jones, and I felt like his last summer league game, which we talked about against the Knicks when he had 21 and 11, was just unbelievable. It was really cool to see him just kind of continue to get better each and every game.
Totally.
And I like the way that he plays. I don't think he'll have the ball in his hands as much, as he did in that game. But still, like, this is a guy they clearly invested in. They gave him a 4-year deal. I know there's some like partial guarantees and stuff like that on there, but still, the fact that they gave him that 4-year contract, they definitely believe in him. And if he does pan out, what a steal, because that's a really good contract. So I think that he can shoot the ball, he can drive the basketball, he can pass the basketball. Can he get better on defense? That's where I'm really concerned, because I felt like his defense was kind of sus a little bit in the summer league, and that's maybe problematic, but we'll see what he can do. Maybe the hamstring will get a little bit healthier, get some training camp under him, get some reps with the Noblesville Boom. It's still weird saying that. I keep wanting to call him the Mad Ants.
Yeah, feels natural.
But it'll take time. But if he can get some reps with the Boom, like how much, like I was asking Tony, like how many reps does he actually get with the Boom? Or do they feel like he's kind of got to be our emergency point guard? If Andrew or TJ go down, we got to have him dressed every night, which I don't love that for him, because it doesn't mean he won't get as many reps. And so I think some development with the Boom will be huge as well. Maybe they can convert Quentin that night, or dress Quentin that night, get him some reps down there. Maybe they'll find that fine balance and whatnot. But I'm a believer in Cam Jones after what I saw in Summer League. I don't know how much I believe in him more than being like a 3rd string guard right now on this Pacers roster, but I think he's good, and I think that he's worth the 38th pick.
2 things. 1, definitely worth the 38th pick. Number 2, whenever you're saying Boom, all I can think of the Costco guys from social media where they're just like, boom! Like, that's all I can think of, and that's going to take some time. I could bring the boom a little bit, but I think in this scenario for Cam Jones, I'm excited, but I just feel like this Pacers team, although it's different. If there was Tyrese Halliburton on this team, I'd be like, there is truly no path to playing time. But we know that there is no Halliburton, but this is a veteran team that still wants to win. And the Pacers for the last couple of years, it's been hard to get Jarris Walker minutes.
Yeah.
So Cam Jones at pick 38, unfortunately, isn't owed anything. So we'll see what happens. And I think that this is let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a really good segue into my next pick. My next
Number
guy.
11?
Yeah. Number 11.
Let's just, for a quick second, you do know that the person that you're talking about with the boom, the Costco people, that's the Rizzler.
Well, it's all of them. It's
I know, but that's his family.
Yeah. Well, it's not. I actually watched
you're
the
right.
whole thing on that. Yeah.
You got the deets.
I got the deets. I'm up to date. It's anyway. That's a whole story for another day. But next on my list, yeah, you know me, I'm hip, man. I know the ins and outs of the Rizzler and the Costco guys. But next on my list is a guy that it was hard to find playing time as a rookie. It's Johnny Furphy, and Johnny Furphy right now is the talk of Summer League to an extent, Pacer Nation, of course. But I think that he has the opportunity to take a big step forward. I liked what I saw in Summer League. I really did. I like the size that he put on. I like the 3-point shooting. I like the dunking. It just feels like we already saw flashes of being a really good rebounder last year. But we obviously know that as a rookie, it was really hard to get playing time. This time around, I think there's going to be more of an opportunity, but it's still like you still have a lot of guys that are a little bit more established ahead of you. So I couldn't put Johnny Furphy higher, but I would love to see him climb this list.
Well, Facci, good news for you. I had the guts to put him higher.
Okay.
Than number 11. So
Respect.
I will say my Furphy thoughts on that, but I understand your reasoning for having him at 11 because I feel like he's going to be the 11th man in the roster, like in terms of the rotation. So that's where I have him. Now, for me, if we're going off potential, expectations, and talent, I went Ben Shepherd here at 11.
I respect
it. I know Rooster's going to be freaking out on Twitter because that's his favorite player. Maybe the Shepherd twins.
I know Rooster wanted to become the next Klay Thompson. Look, I just saw a video of Klay Thompson hitting 73s in a row in practice.
Did Ben Shepherd hit 73s all year long?
I don't know. Ben Shepherd, the 3-point, it was like non-existent for a long time last year. So, Klay hitting 70 in a row, that is the definition of, something to live up to or something to hope for. But he's got to wake up at some point.
I just kind of feel like Ben Shepherd's reached his ceiling a little bit. I don't think he improved that much from year 2, from year 1. I felt like it was very similar. Got worse as a shooter, probably, actually.
Which is crazy because he was drafted as this elite 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you're playing in a small school, it's hard to do that at the NBA level. It's a totally different thing. But, I'm not even that worried about that. He was good enough in the finals. He could play rotational minutes in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But Carlisle really trusts him and likes him, so maybe I should give him a little bit more a pass because of that. But I don't know. When I look at his game overall, I just kind of feel like this is a guy that could easily be replaced in the rotation. And yeah, you might miss some of the little things that he does because he hustles like crazy. That's one of the things I love about him. He has that TJ McConnell. He's got that TJ McConnell attribute of hey, I'm going to go out there and just do all the dirty work. And maybe other guys don't do that as well as him, so that's why he does get those minutes. But in terms of just a potential talent type thing, I think right there at 11 is kind of where I feel like he should be at, especially if you look at this roster in 2 years from now, 3 years from now. But overall, for Shep, I'm not as high on Shep as I used to be.
Yeah, I mean, I never got to fall in love with Shepherd. Trust me, I fell in love. I'm married and all that stuff. But I'm just saying,
that's good.
Shepherd, I never had that full on bonding of yes, he's here. This is what he's going to be. This and right now, as it relates to Furphy and Shepherd, I might have Shepherd higher on my list. But there's a part of me that would love to see Johnny Furphy overtake him and just be able to get more minutes because. A, he's younger. B, it just feels like he's got a much higher ceiling. But obviously, Furphy going into year 2, which didn't play that much year 1, and Ben Shepherd going into year 3 after he has played a decent amount, is just higher on the pecking order to start the year. So
Yeah.
you want to go to, should we go
Let's
to
take a quick break. We'll come back and do 10 through 6, and then we'll close it out with 5 through 1. All right, Foch, man, we're back. Number 10, who you got?
It's Ben Shepherd, and I was trying not to spoil it. I wanted to go to a break before, but I had them so close on the list that it's just like I got Ben Shepherd higher than Furphy because he's got more experience. I feel like he's like a Carlisle guy. Like Rick loves him some Ben Shepherd, and he's going to have the opportunities to play and to get better. And from there, we'll see if he does. But this is also a pivotal year because, look, he's definitely going to have his option picked up. But after this season, his contract jumps to over $5 million per year. And now you start to be like, okay, like Ben Shepherd on a $5 million, deal, like we'll see what happens in terms of a future deal. But I want to see the growth this year.
All right. I already said my stuff on Shep, so I'm going to keep it moving. At number 10, Huff Mania is running wild. I've got the Jiggly Huff, J Huff here at number 10. I'm excited to see what J Huff can do. I feel like it's such a small sample size theater for us to really have any idea of how he's going to fit in here with the Pacers. Obviously, everything he did previously, the most recently, was with Memphis. And I don't think we can say, oh, well, he did it with Memphis, he can do it here with Indiana. I'm not sure yet. I want to see what happens. But I do believe that he's going to fit in the system. I just haven't seen enough of it to be like, I'm completely sold. But I do like what he does bring to the table in terms of being able to stretch the floor, catch lobs, block shots. Like, okay, can you get a rebound? Can you play defense a little bit better than more of just like a help side blocker kind of guy? So I think there are some questions for me, but I think he's, solidly in the backup center spot right now going into camp. And if he doesn't outwork James Wiseman could potentially take it from him.
I'm right there with you. You could have said it better. I got him next on my list, and I just feel like he's going to have a big opportunity. The opportunity right now is like, just like you said, you slated him to be the backup big. He's got a skill set that Isaiah Jackson lacks, that ability to stretch the defense. We've seen the highlights, we've read, but we haven't really been able to see like live game action J Huff. And that's what I want to see this year. He's definitely going to be one of the players that I am rooting for like a breakout type of thing. Already kind of feels like we're not going to say like a fan favorite, but just like someone that we want to see more of. So I'm hoping he has every opportunity to succeed. He's got 3 years left on the contract at a super cheap rate. I want to see him in Indiana long term.
All right. For me at number 9, Facci, this is where I have the guy you wouldn't put up higher. Michael Johnny Furphy Facci. That's where I have him. That's what the J stands for right now.
Very solid.
Johnny Furphy.
On
the spot, man. I'm just telling you. Johnny Furphy. I think he's good. And I think that what we saw in Summer League is just a shade of what he can do as that 11th man in the rotation. I think if someone's hurt, let's say Ben Shepherd gets hurt in a game, all of a sudden, or he gets in foul trouble, he's not playing well, Carlisle goes to Johnny Furphy. He can do some stuff. And when I talk with Tony East, like, he brought up the quote that Carlisle said about Johnny Furphy. He said, we think he can play rotation minutes for the Pacers. Like, it was for the Pacers. I think they like the way that he fits in. Definitely a better defender than I think anybody expected. Very sturdy with his rebounding, added 20 pounds in the offseason. Like, I just think that if he can find his three-point shot, he's going to take Ben Shepherd's minutes. Ben Shepherd,
he could. And
I like Ben Shepherd.
The three-point shot.
He's going to potentially take his minutes.
I think he could, and I don't want to be like, Patient Nation always finds themselves on like one side of things, whether it's like Sabonis and Turner or like this and that. And now it feels like Furphy versus Shepherd is one of those competitions this year for like
Furphy versus, or as Walker versus Shepherd last year.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And Ben Shepherd, to an extent won that. Like he got the minutes, and then Jarris eventually found himself out of the rotation. But I feel like for right now, it's like Furphy versus Shepherd in terms of like, hey, Furphy could take those minutes. Shepherd definitely has the leg up right now, but we'll see what happens, come mid-season, because Furphy looks like that three-point shot's going to be there. We know he's a better rebounder. Like, he's still just so young, like I mentioned. So I think that the potential is through the roof.
Right,
next up, my
number
list,
8. Yep.
I got Jarris Walker.
Okay, we're in agreement.
I really hope this is the breakout year. It's got to be. This is year 3 for Jarris Walker. If you want to throw out year 1 and say, hey, you know what? It's just essentially year 2 is a rookie year. Okay, we could live with that. But if it doesn't happen this year, it's not going to happen. And I think that the Pacers, You need to find out if Jarris is one of the guys. Great, fantastic. If not, he could potentially be traded at the trade deadline in a bigger deal.
Can I make a bold statement here about Jarris? Because I have him at 8 as well. If he isn't kind of reaching that 6-man level this season, and he's just kind of floating around like, he's behind Obi, TJ, like the group, whatever, even behind Huff at times. If he's not finding himself in closing lineups at times, or like at the top of like your favorite bench players, that to me could be problematic. And that could lead to them being like, you know what, maybe we're more willing to add him in a trade, because
that's what I'm saying.
This is the perfect opportunity for him with the loss of number 33, Grass Guy, and of course Tyrese Halliburton being out. You 2 rotational players that were above you are gone. And so now is your opportunity to, seize this moment. And if he doesn't do that or really put his imprint on this season, because I feel like I mentioned it a couple episodes ago when I was talking with you about the depth chart. This is a guy that I could see starting potentially.
I don't know a question, but
no, it's not. It's not.
Can he grasp that opportunity?
He's got to take advantage of it. So that's my only concern there. But let's keep it moving here with number 7.
Number 7, I got Ijax. I got starting.
We're in agreement again.
I mean, he's taken on a bigger role. How could you not be poised for a breakout year? The opportunity has never been better for Isaiah Jackson. I know that's unfortunate coming off of the Achilles injury, but clearly the Pacers committed to him on a 3-year deal. They feel confident. We've heard rumors could be 80, 90% right now. Gives him plenty of time. So I think that the stage is set for Isaiah Jackson to be able to deliver on a big opportunity, but there are definitely still questions if he'll ever reach his full potential coming off of this injury when we haven't seen him.
How much did you debate between him and Jarris here for 7 and 8?
Yeah, a little bit. I just felt like Isaiah Jackson has a much more clear path and role. Yeah. Like, you are the starting center. That's
that we know of, that we think.
For right now, that is what we think. Could things change? Of course. But like, new contract, veteran on the team, you look at the other guys, a little bit far more unproven. I would say Isaiah Jackson has the leg up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, we'll ask Chad Buchanan about this here in an hour or so. We are recording this before our Chad Buchanan interview, so you're listening to this after the Chad Buchanan interview. So if you're wondering why we don't have clarity on who's starting or not, that's why. I should have clarified that previously. But I agree. Ijax to me is a guy that is in a role where he can potentially make a big splash this year and kind of prove himself. But at the same time, like, Achilles injury makes me a little bit nervous. They're playing center by committee. Like, if he's not a 3-point threat, like, do they go with Jay Huff more? Like, is he someone that can stay out of foul trouble? Like, how does he recover from the Achilles injury? Like, all the points you mentioned, I think they're worth noting. So let's do our last one here before we take a break. At number 6, I'll say it first just to change it up a little bit. I got TJ McConnell. Who do you have?
Okay, all right. I do not. I got Obi Toppin.
Okay, so we are different.
And I'll tell you why. Just, best lob threat who benefits from playing with Halliburton, but Halliburton's not here. So he could take on a bigger role, and maybe this is a breakout, year for Obi Toppin. I think it's definitely a possibility, but I also do think for a guy who thrives in transition, no Tyrese, we'll see what happens.
I will say the reason I have TJ here is because he is getting older. This is about potential talent and expectations. I think Obi might be the best man to close out games at the 5 still. I don't know if TJ will close out games.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, there might be times where he closes them out with Nembhard and Mathurin. Maybe Nesmith doesn't play, or
got 82 in the regular season. Anything could happen. Got 82 games in the regular season. I'm sure he'll close out a couple of them, but probably not your ideal,
I'm more worried about the wear and tear on TJ McConnell, which we talked about as well.
There's a risk. It is.
It's how many minutes is he actually going to play? Are they going to try to keep him more at that 18-minute, 15-minute threshold, or are they going to go all the way up to 20, 22? Like, is that going to be too much for him throughout our 82, game regular season after coming off an NBA Finals run where you played the maximum amount of games you could probably play? So, I just think at this point, like, TJ with his age made me a little bit hesitant, and that's why I put him at 6. And then, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and reveal our top 5. All right, you said Obi Toppin for 6. That is who I had at number 5. I'm assuming you had TJ McConnell at 5.
You're wrong, actually.
Oh, my God. Okay, I'll just talk about Obi for a second.
All right, what do you got?
Wow, you really have a lot of high expectations for TJ McConnell, so I like this.
I do.
So, quickly, I will just say Obi Toppin at 5 to me. Like, I can't put him any higher than this. I just feel like he might be the 5th most important player or 5th best player overall talent wise on this roster. You can argue maybe there's guys more talented than him below him, but in terms of what he's proven, that to me is why I have him at 5. And I feel like he could have a very big role this year.
He could. Next on my list, obviously, if it ain't TJ McConnell, it's Aaron Nesmith. And here's the thing. Maybe I'm sleeping on him. Maybe I am, but I'm a little bit worried. We've talked about it before, and it's true. This man benefits from Tyrese Halliburton and, getting him wide open looks from 3. Nesmith, we saw his importance last year. He was the glue. When he came back from his injury, the Pacers came together. They went on that big run. Like, he was the missing piece. So I'm just a little bit worried without Halliburton, to the point where for Nesmith, could he get potentially a little bit exposed, or maybe this is a good opportunity for him to take on more offensively. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, Aaron Nesmith, I can't believe you have TJ McConnell ahead of him.
I do.
Man, that's a lot.
How high do I have McConnell? That's the real
Good
question.
Lord. Okay, so at number 4, I've got Aaron Nesmith.
Okay.
Who do you have at number 4?
TJ McConnell. Now, here's the thing. Here, the importance of the team, it's going to be there, because here's what I'll say. What if Nembhard can't really step up offensively? Like, what if? And there is that potential. We all are head over heels and love that, Andrew Nembhard's going to take a huge leap forward. But what if he struggles a little bit? Having TJ McConnell is a blessing for this Pacers team. No, you don't want to overdo it with McConnell and play him 25 or 30 minutes a night or anything like that. But I do believe he's going to be needed for 20-plus minutes per night, because he's a veteran who's been there, that, can play the style that you like. And I think that that's why I got him at number 4.
Yeah, and I'll just talk about Nesmith for a minute, because I feel like this is a great year for him to kind of prove that he's more than just a catch and shoot kind of
contract
guy.
extension year. He's eligible.
Yeah, he's very, very talented, and I think that he can do more than what he's maybe proven. And I think he's gotten better as an on-ball scorer. I feel like throughout the playoffs, like his role, like ever since that ankle injury, like he still had a big role, but I don't feel like he was that great after the ankle injury against the Knicks.
I agree with that.
Really struggled against Jalen Williams, defensively.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Pascal was significantly better on him, and I think that they saw that at times. And there was times when Nesmith wasn't even in the game when they were having their big run. So
I'd hurt to see.
Yeah, but he was so good though against the Knicks in game 1. He was so good against the Cavs, and I thought he was good against the Bucks too. He was good before he got hurt, and so I'm hoping that maybe we'll get a healthier Aaron Nesmith, and maybe he'll understand, like, hey, people are still sleeping on me. They don't believe I'm this, and like you said, extension eligible. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he'll take it because he's got such a low contract right now, but he definitely feels like a $20 million kind of player.
I think he is, and I know, like, on paper, $20 million, wow, but like he's been underpaid for years now. He really has, and I think that, like, there are teams out there, like we saw what happened when Bruce Brown became available, and what the Pacers did. If Aaron Nesmith became available in the open market and teams had cap space, he would be snatched up. He would have a lot of interest. But moving on, next at number 3, I have Benedict Mathurin. Okay. I think a lot of our success lays on his shoulders as a go-to scorer, but can he put it all together? A contract-eligible year for Benedict Mathurin. The contract extension has not been signed. We haven't heard much about it. This man has the opportunity to be a starter. He's got a lot to prove. This could be a massive year for Mathurin. If the Pacers are going to be a playoff team, a lot hinges on his success.
He might need to lead the team in scoring for this team to make the playoffs.
Yeah, he's probably gonna have to put up over 20. Like I would say, like his number, like he can't be below 18, and he's probably got to be honestly at 20 or more.
Yeah, I feel like 18 would be fine if he's at 18 per game. Even 17, like I wouldn't be that worried about it as long as you have enough guys scoring points. Like if Huff's around 10 and 11, same with Ijax, Jarris is around. I mean, everybody has to be balanced. It's not going to be like an egregious number, but I feel like he's going to have to be the number one scorer for, the Pacers backcourt specifically at times. I mean, you can't just rely on Nembhard to do everything. So that's where I have Mathurin at 3. At number 2, this is where I have Andrew Nembhard. That's his number. I couldn't put him anywhere else. I just feel like he is the guy that deserves to be at number 2. Huge opportunity for him.
Awesome.
And I just think he's going to prove it. And I think that everything about him in terms of like just what he was doing at Summer League, it just feels like this is a guy that's ready for this opportunity.
I think so. I loved seeing him there, and just whether he was also supporting his brother or being able to watch the boys in the game, it was just great. I just feel like he's like, I love the fact that we got that extension done. There's no questions about it. The Pacers got ahead of it. It's great. Nembhard, you're the guy now. Take the keys. Take the leap. Can you be a good two-way player in this league? Like, truly, we know what you can do on defense. He's awesome. Can he do it on offense? I think that would be great. And then lastly, I got Pascal Siakam on my list. All trust in our 3-time All-Star to handle the scoring load. Super talented. I don't think there's actually, based on what you said, there's no debate there. We got Siakam at number 1.
Siakam's the best player. There's no doubt about it. And he needs to lead this team. Like I mentioned, Matthew might need to lead this team in scoring. Pascal definitely needs to be right up there with him.
Has to be as consistent as he was last year, I would say. Like day in, day out, game in, game out. Pascal Siakam, we need you what we saw last year and maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah, so that is going to wrap it up for our ranking of the roster. Facci, it was a lot of fun to discuss this with you. If we had more time, I would ask you if you'd want to do another draft, but I don't think we have enough time for that today. So maybe we'll push that down the road. And I think after your draft last week, you might want to take a week off.
Might take a little week off. Look, and then I got Jermaine, and that's what mattered to me most, but not everybody could see how much that meant to me. So you know what? We'll see. Next draft, when there ain't no Jermaine O'Neal in there, I might be coming for you.
We'll see. Maybe I'll make sure that there is a way for you to pick Jermaine first, so I can, finagle my way to another victory. But with that being said, Pacer Nation, thank you all so much for tuning in to today's episode. If you did not listen to our episode yesterday with Chad Buchanan, Pacer General Manager, we highly encourage you guys to go do that. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do that. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. And Facci, if you're hoping that our fans have a little pep in the step on this Tuesday, hit me with those 3 words.
Let's go, Pacers.